faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prem. So once again, welcome to today's call and thank you very much for joining us. Before we move on to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class, I will let all the devotees on the call to please go ahead with their introductions now.
Hare Krishna, Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Priti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Priti Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Leela Priya Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. This is Yashomati Priya Devidasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashomati Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Leela Priya Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shama Gauri Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Leela Priya Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada Sela Gurudev ki jai, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vranda Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, this is Varija joining in from Mumbai. Dandavat Pranam to all the devotees. Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Leela Priya Radha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devidasi from Lincoln.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karuna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, would you be able to read the introduction? I think we lost Balabhadra Prabhu. He dropped off on the call.
Sure, Mataji.
Okay.
And somebody paste the introduction, please. Any more introductions before we start the class?
Prabhuji is already on the call. We can probably get started directly.
No introduction, right?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga conference call. We're extremely fortunate to have His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji here with us today. And Prabhuji would be enlightening us by discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 6, and Verse 7. Hare Krishna, Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji, Dharma Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for giving us your valuable time and association this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Without further ado, I'd like to request you to please take over from here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can you see the shloka?
Sorry, Prabhuji, just sharing 1 sec.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणि। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 6, text number 7. Mugdhasya balye kaishore क्रीडतो याति विंशतिः जरया ग्रस्तदेहस्य यात्यकल्पस्य विस्मितः विंशतिः। मुग्धस्य बाल्ये कैशोरे क्रीडतो याति विंशतिः जरया ग्रस्तदेहस्य यात्यकल्पस्य विंशतिः। Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In the tender age of childhood, when everyone is bewildered, one passes 10 years. Similarly, in boyhood, engaged in sporting and playing, one passes another 10 years. In this way, 20 years are wasted. Similarly, in old age, when one is an invalid, unable to perform even material activities, one passes another 20 years wastefully. Purport. Without Krishna consciousness, one wastes 20 years in childhood and boyhood and another 20 years in old age, when one cannot perform any material activities and is full of anxiety about what is to be done by his sons and grandsons and how one's estate should be protected. Half of these years are spent in sleep. Furthermore, one wastes another 30 years sleeping at night during the rest of his life. Thus, 70 out of 100 years are wasted by a person who does not know the aim of life and how to utilize this human form. These are the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj to his dear friends. As we know, in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad was attacked by Hiranyakashipu in 100 different ways. Hiranyakashipu tried to kill Prahlad Maharaj in various ways, but he did not succeed. Then Hiranyakashipu had sent Prahlad Maharaj back to school. Actually, it is Shanda and Amarka who came to Hiranyakashipu and said, Hiranyakashipu, you could not kill Prahlad, and you are too much worried about his devotion to Lord Hari. Don't worry, he's a small child. His feelings and his emotions and his devotion and determination, all these are not of much relevance once he is little grown up. They may not continue also. So you don't have to worry so much. Better just send him to school. We will train him in dharmartha kamas. We will not speak about moksha. Don't worry about that. And eventually he will change. He will act like any other bona fide demon, not like a devotee. So you don't worry. You just send him to school. Then Hiranyakashipu again sent Prahlad to school. He attempted to kill Prahlad in so many ways, and he failed. Again, he sent him back to school. Then in school, Shanda and Amarka started training Prahlad Maharaj very systematically in dharma, artha, kama, politics, and how to discriminate between people as friends and enemies, and many other such materialistic topics. But Prahlad never found any excitement in all these teachings, because Prahlad was already satisfied with the teachings, spiritual teachings that he received from his spiritual master Narada Muni when he was within the womb of his mother, Kayadu. When one is satisfied at heart with the spiritual teachings received from a bona fide spiritual master, one doesn't hanker for any more education from material sources. Sanda and Namarka are also teachers, appointed teachers. But Prahlad Maharaj was already satisfied with all the teachings, spiritual teachings that he received from Narada Muni. So he did not show any interest in the teachings of Sanda and Namarka. So when the class of Sanda and Namarka is completed, and when they give a little break to the children, then Prahlad Maharaj starts his classes, separate classes in the proposals in the recess period. In the break period, Prahlad Maharaj started enlightening his own friends. He begins by saying, Kaumara acharit pragno dharman bhagavataniha. Kaumara acharit pragno. Kaumara means the first 5 years of a child's age. Then Pauganda means 5 to 10 years. Kaishora means 10 to 15 years. And beyond 15 years, it is Yavana. So, Kaumara acharit pragno dharman bhagavataniha. Pragna means intelligent people, wise people, begin to practice the process of bhakti right from their childhood, right from the age of 5. Because when somebody starts to practice bhakti at a very advanced age, after seeing so many things in this world, after having so many experiences, after having accumulated so many material desires and experiences and frustrations in life, focusing on bhakti may become a little difficult. Of course, soul has no birth and death. The soul has been transmigrating from one body to another body since time immemorial. Even as a child also, a human being, a living being, carries some kind of past impressions and thoughts and habits and swabhava and samskaras are coming. But still, despite all that conditions, when the age is very tender, the possibility of learning is more. The possibility of accepting teachings from a teacher is more. When somebody is very seasoned and old, already the mind is filled with a lot of preconceived notions. It's a bit difficult to accept new teachings. As they say, what is that? You can't teach new tricks to old dogs, right? Something like that. I don't know where is that from. But anyways, when they're very young, when children are very young, it's easy to inculcate values, culture, bhakti, or any type of education in them when they are very tender in age. We have examples of so many great devotees who began their bhakti at the age of 5 or at a very, very tender age. Prahlad, he began his bhakti even before his birth. He was enlightened in bhakti even before he came out of mother's womb. Narada Muni enlightened him. We have Dhruva Maharaj, he began his bhakti under the guidance of his mother, Suniti, his spiritual master, Narada Muni. And at the age of 5, he performed austerities, he chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and he got the darshan of the Lord just within 6 months. Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj. And in the previous life, Narada Muni was the son of a maid servant, and he was also enlightened in bhakti by some sages called Bhakti Vedantas. These Bhakti Vedanta sages taught this little boy. He was the son of a maid servant. He was just 5 years old, but this Bhaktivedanta sages enlightened him in bhakti, and this boy, the name is not mentioned, so we'll call him Narada only, Narada Muni in his past life. So this boy passed through the stages of Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya. Eventually he came to the stage of Prema. He became a Premi Bhakta at the age of 5 because of the training given by the sages of Bhaktivedanta sages. And we also have the examples of Parikshit Maharaj, who was just a little child within the womb of his mother, Uttara. But by his good fortune, Uttara Mata was a great devotee. When a Brahmastra came to attack her, Uttara ran towards Krishna And she said, Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpati Na Anyam Tadabhayam Pashyet Yatra Mrityuh Parasparam. Pahi Pahi Mahayogin. She said that, O Mahayogi, O great mystic Krishna, please protect me. A fiery arrow is coming to destroy my embryo. Let it destroy me, but not my child. In this way, Mother Uttara prayed, and Krishna entered within the womb of Mother Uttara and protected Parikshit Maharaj. Thus, Parikshit Maharaj had the darshan of Lord Krishna even within his womb, even within his mother's womb. So, as soon as Parikshit Maharaj came out of mother's womb, he started examining everybody. Who is that person whom I have seen in my mother's womb before my birth? He started examining everybody. So, therefore, he's called Parikshit Maharaj. Examine. He's examining everyone, right? That's why it's called Parikshit Maharaj. Pariksha means exam. Many people know, especially students know this. We have seen the example of Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Narada Muni in his past life, Parikshit Maharaj, and Uddhava also. As a little child, Uddhava was playing with dolls of Krishna. Even when his mother calls Uddhava for breakfast, Uddhava wouldn't come. Uddhava is so absorbed in worshipping his Krishna dolls, little dolls. Now you see some kids also playing with small Krishna dolls, right? So, like that, Uddhava used to play. 5 kids we have discussed about. One more, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, when he was very young, maybe 5 or 6-year-old boy, he was crying to organize Jagannath Ratha Yatra. So his father took him to the market to purchase a little chariot so that he can organize a Jagannath Ratha Yatra with other children. But somehow the chariot was very expensive. They could not purchase. Then he was crying. Prabhupada was crying as a little boy, Abhaycharan. He was crying. Then one old lady saw Prabhupada and asked him, why are you crying? Then Prabhupada's father, Gaur Mohan, said that this boy wanted a chariot. Then she said, I have an old chariot, please take it. You can just repair it if needed and then use it. Then Prabhupada, with great enthusiasm, just took that old chariot and decorated it nicely and had Jagannath Rath Yatra with other children. Thus, in childhood, if we give some good values and good culture to children, then they will grow up as responsible individuals. If spiritual values are not inculcated in children right from childhood, once they are grown up, once they enter teens, once they are little more grown up, it's very difficult for them to accept the path of bhakti. Of course, we can accept the path of bhakti at any age, even at the age of 20 or 30 or 40, whatever it is. Somewhere we have to begin. We can begin. There is always a beginning, so it can happen at any time. Better late than never. However, if there is a possibility, why not inculcate spiritual values right from the beginning of life? Kaumara acharit prajna. As Chandikya Pandit says, for the first 5 years of a child's life, just leave them, let them play, no problem. Don't be overly strict with them. Then 5 to 16 is the duration where they need to be trained, where some strictness and discipline must be inculcated. Then beyond 16, treat them like friends. Training is over. Of course, beyond 16 also, you can just give little corrections and all, but don't overly intrude into their autonomy and independence. That's what Chandikya Pandit said. And some kind of corrections are required, like Chandikya Pandit only. Prabhupada quotes Chandikya Pandit. He says, Lalane bahavo doshaha tadane bahavo gunaha tasmat putram cha sishyam cha tadayet natulalayet. Lalane bahavo dosha. If you pamper a child, the doshas, the faults will increase. Tadane bahavo gunaha. If you chastise the child, chastise a disciple, not unnecessarily, but whenever it is required, you give them feedback, suggestions, corrections in a loving manner, and sometimes if it is required in a little strong way, you may have to give just for their improvement. Okay. by giving constant feedbacks and suggestions and corrections for their improvement, they will grow as responsible individuals. Right? Tadane bhavo guna tasmat putram cha sishyam cha tadayet na tu lalayet. You train them nicely, discipline them, and don't overly pamper their negative tendencies. Okay, this is the suggestion given by Chandakya Pandit, and Prabhupada quotes it often. So now we have seen the examples of several great devotees who were trained in spiritual culture right from their childhood. And we also have seen the importance of training children in spiritual culture and how it is important to inculcate all these spiritual values. Now, let's come to the case of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj is giving his teachings now to his classmates, and he is making an important point in the current shloka that we just read. What is this shloka? He said that lot of time is wasted in childhood, lot of time in a human life is wasted in sleeping and sporting and earning money and sense gratification, this and that. But the actual time left to practice Krishna consciousness is very life, given that the lifespan of a living being, of a human being, is 100 years. Okay. In different yugas, the lifespan is different. That's fine. But let's speak about that era where the lifespan is restricted to 100. Sometimes it may be a little more, sometimes or many times it is much less. 70, oh, done. 60, sometimes done. 50, oh, retirement days. 58 is retirement days. So government understands that beyond 58, this person may not be able to contribute much. He may be experienced, he may act as a consultant, but the body has become very weak. And that too in Kali Yuga, the atmosphere is quite polluted. The kind of food that one is taking in is not that pure. Considering all this, there is a good possibility that most people may not live even up to 100 years. So considering the short duration of time, how much time do we have to waste on unnecessary things? So we need to utilize our time effectively. So Prahlad is giving an analysis in this shloka, and Prabhupada is further elaborating on the analysis of Prahlad in his purport, only to inform us the importance of effective time management. Do the needful on a material plane to earn your livelihood, to survive, to maintain your body and soul together, but try to maximize the time that you spend on Krishna conscious activities. That's the message here. So Prahlad, he gives so many teachings to his friends and describes the importance of human form of life, and also describes and emphasizes on the importance of utilizing time very effectively. If 1 second is lost, even if you pay millions of dollars, you cannot get that second back. It's gone forever. So time must be judiciously used, and of course some kind of relaxation may be required, as Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Yukta ahara viharasya, one has to be very regulated and disciplined in one's sleeping habits, eating habits, working habits, and recreation habits. Some sleep is required. We cannot just say we are not this body, let's not sleep. Yeah, you can minimize sleep as much as it is humanly possible for us, but without sufficiently sleeping, one may not be able to function properly. One may sleep in japa. Then yukta ahara, we can minimize the intake of luxurious food, but that doesn't mean we have to fast every day. So eat as much as required for the bodily maintenance. Yukta ahara viharasya. Working habits. Yes, we should not waste time. We should work productively, but that does not mean you keep on working, and you don't take any breaks. Some breaks are required, some recreation. So if the senses are restricted too much of restricting the senses will make one very hard-hearted. Too much of detachment, too much of knowledge, too much of sense control, too much of mind control, that makes one hard-hearted. Mind control is required. Sense control is required, no doubt. But that should not make us very hard-hearted. Jnana and Vairagya without bhakti makes us hard-hearted. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke that bhalana khaibe, bhalana paribe. Don't decorate yourself so lavishly, and also don't eat very opulent food. So eat very frugally. He said that. But when there are some special occasions, like Gundicha Marjan, after they clean the Gundicha temple, or Rath Yatra time, so Mahaprabhu would feed the devotees 5 times more than they can eat. And also he would remember the particular items that the devotees love, and he would prompt the servers, feed that, he likes it, feed this, he likes it. Mahaprabhu also encouraged once in a while, not every day, encouraged some feasting also once in a while. And there were some recreation also. Mahaprabhu would jump into Indradyumna Sarovar, and also Mahaprabhu's associates like Advaitacharya, Nityananda Prabhu, Ramananda Rai, then Gopinath Patnaik, then Sarvam Bhattacharya, all of them would just jump into the Indradyumna Sarovar and they start splashing water against each other. Some little spiritual fun. Sattva-guni fun is okay, not tamoguni kind of comedy. Right? In the name of recreation, we cannot pull the legs of other people, we cannot crack mundane jokes, we cannot have some loose dealings. But some kind of humor is also has some place in devotional interactions. But that's a spiritual humor. That's a humor at least in Sattvagun, not Rajogun and Tamogun. So in this way, Yukta Ahara Viharasya Yukta Cheshtasya Karmasu Yukta Swapnavabodhasya Yogo Bhavati Dukkhaha. So we need to plan our time nicely. We need to utilize whatever time is available in our human form appropriately, so that we ultimately attain self-realization. So Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam give us so many inputs in regulating our life and leading a very balanced life materially and spiritually in both ways. Ultimately, all this discipline, balance, regulation in our life is required only to elevate our consciousness to Krishna consciousness. That's the ultimate goal. Now, Prahlad Maharaj, he received all these teachings from whom? From Narada Muni. Narada Muni protected Kayadu when she was being attacked by the Devatas. Devatas were trying to kidnap Kayadu and kill her child. As soon as she gives birth to the child, now Indra wanted to kill the child. Why? Indra thought, all the Devatas thought, that Hiranyakashipu was such a great, powerful, fierce, cruel demon, and his son also will be a demon like him. So better kill him now itself. Let's eliminate him. But Narada Muni came and informed the Devatas, hey, don't think that Hiranyakashipu's son, demon son, will also be a demon. He will become a Bhagavat devotee. It's unbelievable. Now that we know the story, when I quote Narada Muni's statement, all of you can easily accept it. But just put yourself in the shoes of all the Devatas. Be in that situation. As Devatas, we are hearing for the first time, the son of Hiranyakashipu will be a Mahabhagavat devotee, pure devotee. It's unbelievable. But because Narada Muni said it, all the Devatas believed it. They offered obeisances to Mother Kayadu. She was pregnant at that time. They even circumambulated Mother Kayadu, and they left Kayadu in the care of Narada Muni, and they went to heavens. Then Narada Muni brought Kayadu to his ashram and started enlightening Kayadu. She was protected under the care of this great devotee, Mahabhagavat devotee, and he also started enlightening her by speaking some spiritual subject matters. But Kayadu could not focus on the class of Narada Muni. Why? She was very anxious. She was thinking, when will my husband come back from his austerities? already these devatas tried to attack my son. Will there be another attack? In this way, she is like too much worried. When there's too much of material anxiety in the mind, we cannot focus on the spiritual sound vibration. Even when we are chanting the holy names of Krishna, when the mind is thinking about so many other trivial things, we cannot focus on the holy name, sound vibration. Somebody is giving class, katha is going on well, but the mind is distracted, thinking of something else. So when the mind is too much absorbed in material activities, material thoughts, then one may not be able to focus on spiritual sound vibration, although that sound vibration is accessible to them by their good fortune. But Prahlad, who was within the womb of Mother Kayadu, had absolutely no such worries and anxieties. He could completely focus on what Narada Muni was speaking. So Prahlad heard it very attentively. And Narada Muni understood, oh, here is a child who is not yet born, but is hearing Harikatha and getting enlightened. Eventually, Prahlad was born. So Prahlad's being within the womb of his mother, Prahlad's demoniac birth, his age, tender age, all these were not a barrier for Prahlad to receive the teachings of Narada Muni. When the transmitter is potent and when the receiver is also potent, then the transmission of the signal happens very easily. When my Wi-Fi is good and your Wi-Fi is good, what I'm speaking, you can receive, you can hear well. Audio and video transmission can happen well. Sometimes we have Wi-Fi issues in GEV. Similarly, Narada Muni is a potent spiritual master and he's speaking Harikatha with your heart, with sincere intention to enlighten Prahlad. And Prahlad also is like a Chataka bird receiving Harikatha from Narada Muni. Here there is an eagerness on the part of the hearer and there is a pure intention on the part of the giver. So this give and take, dadati pratigrihanati of spiritual knowledge happened very effectively and seamlessly. What is the quality of a speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam? The first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam says, Tanno bhavan vai bhagavat pradhano mahattamaikanta parayanasya harerudaram charitam vishuddham susrushatam no vitanotu vidvan. Tanno bhavan vai bhagavat pradhano. All the sages of Naimisharanya, Shaunakadi rishis are glorifying Sutta Goswami. Bhagavat pradhano, oh Sutta Goswami, you are the foremost Vaishnava. In your life, Bhagavan is pradhana. Means you have given utmost priority to the Lord in your life and you kept everything else as second priority, third priority and others. Mam ekam sharanavaja. Krishna is first for you. So you have dedicated your life to Krishna, Bhagavat pradhana. The quality of a speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam is that speaker is dedicated to Krishna. And what is the quality of a hearer? Susrushatam no vitanotu vidvan. Susrushatam. They're very eager to hear Harikatha. That eagerness to hear Harikatha is the quality of a hearer. Dedication to Krishna is the quality of speaker. And what's the quality of subject matter? That's connecting the speaker and hearer. Harerudaram charitam vishuddham. Lord Hari's udara charita. The Lord's pure nectarian narrations, which are extremely benevolent and munificent, are the subjects of discussion between a devotee hearer and devotee speaker. Common people, when they come together, they discuss about so many materialistic affairs, current affairs, and so many, gossip, right? But when devotees come together, Macchitta Madgata Prana Bodhayantaha Parasparam Kathayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Charamanti Cha. That's what devotees do. Parasparanu Kathanam Pavanam Bhagavadyashaha Mithoratihi Mithaha Tushtir Nivrittir Mithatmanaha. That's what devotees do. Paraspara Anukathanam. When the devotees meet together, they discuss about Harikatha. They discuss the glories of Lord Hari. They discuss the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela of Lord Krishna. That's the subject matter of their discussion. Now, Narada Muni is trying to enlighten Prahlad because Narada Muni had a pure intention to elevate the consciousness of the hearer and Prahlad had a pure desire to receive all the teachings like a chataka bird receives some raindrops from the sky. This Prahlad also is eager to receive. So the transmission of bhakti inspiration happened very seamlessly because it's done selflessly and it's received also sincerely. Sincerity on the part of receiver, selflessness on the part of giver. Therefore, there is seamless transmission of spiritual inspiration. Something similar is happening now in this chapter. Here is Prahlad Maharaj giving the same teachings that he has received from Narada Muni to his classmates. Again, the transmission happened very sincerely, very seamlessly, because Prahlad is a sincere teacher who is transparently transmitting the transcendental teachings that he has received from his transcendental Guru Narada Muni for the transformation of his friends, classmates, isn't it? And what about the classmates? Are they eager hearers? Of course they are. All the little children, the classmates of Prahlad Maharaj, they found Prahlad's teachings more interesting than Shanda and Amarka's teachings. Oh, our teachers are boring us. They're speaking so many politics and dharma, artha, kama stuff. We are not excited with their teachings. We are more excited with the teachings of Prahlad, our dear friend, 5-year-old boy. When there is purity of intent, and when there is purity of content, and there is purity of intent and purity of content, even a 5-year-old child also can speak Harikatha and impress and inspire the hearts of the hearers. But when there is no pure intent and pure content, however eloquent you may be, you cannot inspire anyone or impress anyone. When we speak from our mouth very eloquently, when our voice is sweet, when you use good vocabulary, when your pronunciation is great, when your delivery is very stylish or whatever it may be, that will impress the ears of people. And when we speak very logically, good logic, good reasoning, our analysis is great, and our conveying of the point is with sound logic, then that will appeal to the intelligence of people. And when we speak from heart, then it will reach the heart of people. Speak from mouth, it will reach their ears. Speak from intellect, that will appeal to their intelligence. Speak from heart, that will reach the hearts of people. So, to speak from heart, there should be something in the heart. Krishna should be there in the heart. Love for Krishna should be there in the heart. When we love Krishna, then naturally, when we speak, we express our love for Krishna. What is speaking? What is Krishna-katha? What is lecturing on Gita, Bhagavatam and scriptures? It's basically expressing our love for Krishna. To the degree we love Krishna, to that degree we can express our love for Krishna. Recently, His Grace Amarendra Prabhu came here to Govardhani College. So he was speaking on the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. He was quoting His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj, and he conveyed a beautiful point that Maharaj spoke. The point was that Srimad Bhagavatam is like a kitchen with all kinds of ingredients. So many ingredients are there. You have all these spices and grains and vegetables and whatever ingredients are there. If a neophyte cook goes into the kitchen, the neophyte cook will take few ingredients and process them in a certain way, and somehow manages to make some khichdi or upma or idli or dosa or whatever it may be, and it will have a certain taste. If the cook is neophyte, the taste of the product is also a little, little mediocre. But if an expert cook goes there into the same kitchen, expert cook uses the same ingredients and probably uses the same amount of time, and comes up with the most delicious item preparation and offers it to Krishna, and then when you eat it, wow, amazing, right? So kitchen is same, but cook is not expert, and second cook is expert. Similarly, Bhagavatam book is same, but when a devotee does not have sufficient love for Krishna, sufficient appreciation for the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam, sufficient connection and relationship with the pastimes of Srimad Bhagavatam, the presentation will not be effective, right? So I'm not speaking about the eloquence and the kind of slides that we use in our presentation. I'm not speaking about that presentation. I'm not speaking about the delivery part. I'm speaking about the expression of one's deep appreciation for the characters of Bhagavatam, for the philosophy of Srimad Bhagavatam, for the pastimes of Srimad Bhagavatam, for all the wonderful stories of Krishna and his devotees presented in Bhagavatam. So when we have love for them, and when we speak about them, that love, that appreciation that we have for them will be nicely demonstrated through our speech. Okay. So despite lack of vocabulary or lack of expertise or experience, right? So we need to speak heartfelt words. For that, we need to develop some love for Krishna within the heart. And that happens, we will be able to develop that love for Krishna within our hearts when we hear from bona fide sources. What goes in comes out, as simple as that. What goes in comes out. When we are hearing from bona fide sources, when we are hearing from people who love Krishna, and their love helps us develop our love for Krishna. When we are reading books which are written by Vaishnava authors, like Srila Prabhupada, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baladev Vidya Bhushan, and many such Vaishnava acharyas, when we read their books, their love for Krishna is contagious, that will influence us, that will infect us, that will inspire us to love Krishna, because they love Krishna. That's why it's very important to receive Harikatha, receive spiritual knowledge from bona fide sources. Like Prahlad received from Narada Muni, and all of us are receiving from Srila Prabhupada. Okay. So when we hear Harikatha or read about Lord Hari, ensure that the book we are reading is bona fide, the speaker that we are hearing from is bona fide, is in Parampara line. So then we will have that, we will develop that affection for Krishna. And then when we speak, then all that Harikatha will just come out as an expression of our love for Krishna. That's why Prahlad Maharaj says, Sa uttama shloka mahan mukhacyuto bhavatpadam bhoja sudha kananila smritim punarvismrta tattva vartmanam kuyoginam no vitaratya lambaraihi. Sa uttama shloka mahan mukhacyuto. When pure devotees speak Harikatha from their mouths, when Harikatha is just emanating from their mouths, that sound vibration coming out of their mouths will carry the saffron dust particles at the lotus feet of Krishna, because they are carrying the lotus feet of Krishna within their hearts. Sa uttama shloka mahan mukhacyuto bhavat padam bhoja sudha kananilah. The nectarian dust particles from Krishna's lotus feet are present in the hearts of those devotees, and they will come out when they speak, and they will enter our ear holes. And through ear holes, they will enter our hearts. Pravishtaha karnarandhrena svanam bhavasaroruham dhunoti shamalam Krishna sarirasya yathasarat. Means they will completely destroy all the lust and envy and pride in our hearts. When we allow Krishna to enter our hearts through our ears, when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, then our anarthas are cleared. And it's mentioned many times, many places. Nashta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. When you do nityam bhagavata seva, when you hear Bhagavatam nityam on a regular basis from bona fide sources, and also when you render service to Bhagavata devotees on a regular basis, bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Bhakti will become steady. Without regular hearing of Harikatha, our bhakti will remain unsteady. When you hear Srimad Bhagavatam and serve Bhagavatas on a regular basis, bhakti will become steady. You want to make your unsteady bhakti into steady bhakti? You want to make your anishtita bhakti into nishtita bhakti? Hear Bhagavatam. What is there between the stage of anishtita bhakti and nishtita bhakti? Anarthas are there. So anartha nivritti stage has to be cleared. So how will we clear that? Nityam bhagavata sevaya nashta prayeshu abhadreshu. That abhadra is anartha. Okay. Anarthas are cleared when we hear Harikatha, when we hear Bhagavatam from the right source, from bona fide source. So by dint of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from the right source. And by developing that spiritual inspiration coming from a spiritually elevated personality, what happens is our words will become effective. Our lifestyle will become pure. Our thoughts, our emotions, everything will become pure. With that purity of consciousness, with that pure intention to enlighten others, with that pure content received from bona fide sources, when we speak Harikatha, we will make an impact on common people also. And that's what is happening with Prahlad now. Prahlad received all the teachings, spiritual teachings from Narada Muni, who had a pure intent, gave pure content, and now Prahlad is transmitting that pure content with pure intent again to classmates. And classmates are getting transformed. They are doing Harinam Sankirtan, isn't it? Prahlad Maharaj, although he's at the age of 5, although he's a 5-year-old child, the devotional advancement that he has made is unparalleled. Therefore, when Prahlad spoke, all the boys were influenced by Prahlad. They found Prahlad's teachings more effective, more relatable. They could connect with Prahlad's words more than the words of Shanda and Namarka. When we hear pure Krishna-katha from a potent devotee, from a sincere devotee, we will lose taste for other things. Itara ragavi smaranam druna. Gopis say, Krishna, when we get attracted to you, itara raga vismaranam, we completely forget other ragas, other attachments. Okay, so we lose taste. How many of you have felt that after coming to Krishna consciousness and starting to hear some Harikatha from some devotees whom you love, whom you like, you naturally give up some attachment to some trivial things, some bad things, some useless things? It just happens organically, naturally. Eventually it happens. Itara raga vismaranam runa. To the degree we are rooted in hearing Harikatha from bona fide sources, to that degree we will be relieved from all material attachments. You may say, I have been practicing bhakti since a long time, but I am unable to get rid of this shortcoming that I have. I am unable to overcome this anartha that I have. I am unable to give up my attachments to this thing, this thing, this thing. Why it's happening? Because we are not sufficiently hearing Krishna-katha. We are not sufficiently chanting the holy names of Krishna. When we sincerely hear Harikatha, we'll be eager to chant holy names. We'll be eager to render service. So, entire spiritual life is based on the foundation of Shravanam. That's the first process. Out of the 9 processes, why Shravanam is first? In the previous chapter, when Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, tell me, what did you learn from your teacher? Hiranyakashipu meant teacher means Shanda Ramarka. But Prahlad felt that teacher means Narada Muni. Let me repeat what he heard from Narada Muni. He said, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoha Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Bandhanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. He said, Shravanam, hearing about Krishna, Kirtanam, singing the glories of Krishna. Then he said the remaining 7 processes, but he began with Shravanam, then Kirtanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoha Smaranam. So Prahlad has heard teachings from Narada Muni. Now he is doing Kirtanam. Earlier, when he was in the womb of his mother, he did Shravanam. Now in his school, he is doing Kirtanam. And Smaranam is constantly happening. Okay, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, all 3 are happening in Prahlad's life. And because Prahlad spoke bona fide teachings coming from Narada Muni, all the friends of Prahlad, classmates, were influenced, were inspired. When we are discussing Krishna-katha, that benefits the speaker, that benefits the hearer, that benefits the speaker by intensifying the speaker's connection with Krishna. And that also benefits the hearer by intensifying their connection with Krishna. And it also benefits all the other people who happen to be there in the conversation. One person may be speaking, one person may be asking questions, other people are just hearing. Vasudeva katha prashna purusham stri punatihi vaktaram prachrakam shrotrum statpada salilam yatha. Vasudeva katha prashna. The topics of Lord Vasudeva, Prashna, the questions about Lord Vasudeva, they purify three kinds of people. Purusham Strim Punatihi, three kinds of people are purified. Who are they? Vaktaram means the speaker. Prichrakam, the inquirer. Shrotrum means the hearer. All three categories are completely purified by Harikatha. So Harikatha has such a purifying potency that when it is heard with a sincere intention, and when it is spoken with a sincere intention, and when the content is very pure, there is no prajalpa in that. There is pure Krishna-katha without any distractions or deviations towards materialistic and mundane topics. You may give an example to convey a point, and that example may be connected to this mundane world. That's fine to some degree. To make a concept easily relatable and understandable, you may give a certain example. But ultimately, the essential message of the words of a Vaishnav must be encouragement towards Bhakti Yoga. Let people practice Bhakti Yoga. That's the ultimate intention. Let me speak a few words that inspire people to take up to Krishna consciousness more effectively, more sincerely. By hearing this 1 hour of Harikatha, let their attraction towards Hari increase even a little bit. Let it increase at least slightly. That's the aim. That's the aim of a speaker of Harikatha, and that's the aim of a hearer of Harikatha also. And this kind of intention is there both on the side of hearer and on the side of speaker. Then naturally, the Krishna-katha conversations and meetings will result in development of devotional service, result in great transformation in the character of all parties involved. You see, in the Padyavali, Rupa Goswami says, he quotes one shloka. Tvad-bhakta saritam patim chulukavat khadyotavad bhaskaram merum pashyati loshtravat kimaparam bhumi patim bhrityavat chintaratna chayam shila sakalavat kalpadrumam kashthavat samsaram trunarashivat kimaparam deham nijam bharavat. Tvad-bhakta saritam patim chulukavat. For devotees who develop deep attraction towards Krishna, deep devotion towards Krishna by dint of hearing Harikatha, everything else pertaining to this material world seems insignificant. Tad bhakta saritam patim chulukavat. For a devotee, even Saritam Pati, even the king of all rivers, even the best of all rivers, even the greatest of all rivers is like chulukavat, a drop of water. Means river doesn't excite him. Of course, if it is Ganga and Yamuna, devotees offer obeisances because it's connected to Krishna. But the point here is, even if they see a great water body in this material world, they consider it merely as a drop of water. Tvad-bhakta saritam patim chulukavat khadyotavad bhaskaram. Even if they say Bhaskara, Bhaskara means sun, it's like firefly. Means not to minimize the position of Bhaskara, sun, but basically the greatest source of light also doesn't appeal to them. Real Bhaskara is Krishna. He is Yoga Bhaskara. He is Krishna Surya Sama. Maya hai Andhakar. So they're excited with Krishna. The sun, the moon, the mountains, and the rivers, and whatever paraphernalia is there in this material world doesn't excite them. Tvad bhakta saritam patim chulukavat khadyotavad bhaskaram merum pashyati loshtravat kimaparam. Merum pashyati loshtravat. They will see big Meru mountain, golden mountain. They will think that it's a small piece of stone, a pebble, nothing more than that. Merum pashyati loshtravat kimaparam bhumi patim hrityavat. Bhumi patim hrityavat. King, you think he's a servant. He's a king. No, he's a servant. That's what they say. Would you like to become a king? No, I would like to become a servant. If you keep me in the the mode of a devotee. Bhaktasaritam patim chulukavad khadyotavad bhaskaram merum pashyati loshtravat kimaparam bhume patim hrityavad चिंतारत्नचयं शिलासकलवत् कल्पद्रुमं काष्ठवत् चिंतारत्नचयं शिलासकलवत्. Even if you show him Chintamani stones, Shila, Sakalavat, all these are Shilas, all these are the stones. Kalpadrumam Kashtavat, even if you show him Kalpadruma, Kalpavriksha, desire fulfilling tree, they think that it is a kashta, piece of wood, nothing more than that. Kalpadrumam Kashtavat. And samsaram trana, entire samsara, this material existence is tranarasi. It's just a pile of grass. Seeing grasses, cows may get excited, but not devotees. So, chintaratna chayam shilasakalavat, and then samsaram trunarasivat, because nothing in this entire material existence excites a devotee. And Deham Nijam Bharavat, even this one's own body, material body, which is very dear to any embodied living being, that is a bhara. Why am I carrying this burden of this material body? So much of flesh, blood, bones, urine, stool, mucus, bile, etc. Why am I being entrapped in this material body? You would just think like that. For them, devotion is ultimate. Let people criticize me, doesn't matter. Let people ridicule me, doesn't matter. Prahlad, now he's giving teachings. After some time, his classes will be stopped by his own father. Teacher Shanda and Amarka will come. When I stop classes, the Shanda and Amarka were thinking, when we stop classes, he starting classes. He is giving some spiritual classes. He's speaking about Hari Bhakti. They immediately ran to Hiranyakashipu and complained, see, your boy is not giving up Hari Bhakti. He's also spoiling other children also, inducing them also to become devotees of Lord Hari. If we live like this, the next generation will become devotees of Krishna. Do something. So, materialistic people are more excited in creating obstacles in the path of devotional service of devotees. That's what Shanda and Amarka are doing. That's what Hiranyakashipu was doing. Hiranyakashipu would be stopped. And earlier and later also, Hiranyakashipu was chastising Prahlad. Shanda and Amarka were chastising, and other demonic people who are supporters of Hiranyakashipu's philosophy, they were chastising. But Prahlad did not deviate from bhakti even slightly. Even a little bit also, he did not deviate. In the Mukundamala Stotra, Kulashekharal verses, one shloka, he says that Tadrik Premadharanu Madhuna Mattayamanam Tume. Because a devotee experiences love of Krishna at every step, still, therefore, even if people just criticize devotee, even if people ridicule him, devotee wouldn't bother. Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi Sri Krishna padambujan Nindantu priya bandhava gurujana grihnantu manchantu va Durvadam parighoshayantu banuja vamshe kalankostu va Tadrik prema dharanu raga madhuna mattayamanam tumi Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi. Let my chitta not be deviated from the thought of Krishna's lotus feet even for one kshana, one moment. Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi Sri Krishna padambujan Nindantu priya bandhava gurujana. Let my elders, priya bandhava, my relatives, gurujana, my own teachers, let them criticize me. Nindantu priya bandhava gurujana grihnantu manchantu va. Let them accept me or reject me. I don't mind. Durvadam parighoshayantu manuja vamshe kalankostu va. Let there be gossip about me. Let people think that, oh, this person has gone crazy completely. No problem. Let them think that I am crazy. Of course, I am crazy for Krishna. Prahlad is Krishna graha grihitatma. Prahlad is a person who is completely captured by this planet of Krishna. Krishna graha grihitatma. So chintartha chayam not this. What is that shloka we were discussing? Durvadam parighoshayantu manuja vamshe kallankostuva tatrik prema dharanu ragamadhuna mattayamanam to me, because I'm intoxicated with the love and affection that I'm receiving from Lord Krishna. By my meditation on Lord Krishna, I have absolutely no inclination to leave this bhakti, despite all the gossip that's happening about me, despite all the opposition that I'm receiving, despite the mistreatment, ill treatment that I'm receiving from my teachers, from my parents, from everybody, from the society. And Madhavendra Puri says, Mugdham mam nigadantu niti nipuna bhrantam muhurvaidika mandam bandhava sanchaya jadadhiyam muktadara sodara unmattam dhanino viveka chaturaha kamam mahadambhikam moktum nakshamate managapi mano govinda padaspraham. Mugdham mam nigadantu niti nipuna. Niti nipuna means those are very well versed in different moralists. So mugdham mam nigadantu niti nipuna. All the experts in morality, let them criticize me, saying that I am mugdham. He's illusion. He has gone crazy. He's completely corrupt. His mind is corrupt. Let them think like that. Doesn't matter. Vaidika means those are very roots, followers of Vedas. They may think that I am misled. Let them think like that. No problem. Bandham bandhava sanchaya jadadhiyam. Let my own bandhus, let my own relatives think that I am jadadhiya, dull-headed fellow. Let them think, not an issue. Muktadara sodara. My sodara, my own brothers, let them call me fool. No problem. Extremely intoxicated person. Wealthy people, dhanino, viveka chaturaha. Very wealthy people may think that I am mad. He's unmatta, mad fellow. Let them criticize. What difference does it make? Kamam mahadambhikam moktum nakshamati managapi mano govinda padaspraham. Philosophers may think that I am mahadambhikam. There are some philosophers, they expect submissiveness from others because they teach philosophy, right? But here is a devotee who is not being submissive to dry speculators and philosophers. He is being submissive to Krishna and in his own ecstasy. There is Prakashananda Saraswati, a great philosopher, a great gnani. He thought that Mahaprabhu, oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna Chaitanya, oh, he's a sentimentalist. With other sentimentalists, he's just jumping up and down, dancing, chanting holy names of Krishna. So, he's a sentimentalist. So, Prakashananda Saraswati criticized Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu like this. So, devotees have been criticized by so many people in so many ways, by so many people at different times in the universal history. No problem. Govinda Padaspraham, let me never deviate from my attachment to the lotus feet of Lord Govinda. Let my determination to serve the lotus feet of Govinda not be deviated even for a moment. This is the mood of a devotee. Okay. Determination is never slackened. So Prahlad Maharaj is rooted in Krishna consciousness, and he attained that Krishna conscious state by the blessings of his Guru, by the blessings of Narada Muni. So when we have a elevated Vaishnava as our Guru, And when we sincerely receive those teachings from the Guru, sometimes Guru may be very potent, but the disciple is not sincere enough. Sometimes some sincere people come to us, but we may not be having the bandwidth or ability to guide them properly. But here is a wonderful combination. Guru is potent, disciple is sincere. A wonderful combination. Sometimes, although somebody may be sincerely looking for some inspiration, the people whom they come in contact with, certain gurus, they may not be able to guide them. They will misguide them. One of the qualities of Kali Yuga people is to be misguided. Right? What is that shloka? Prayenalpayushasabhya kalavasmin yuge janaha mandaha sumanda matayo manda bhagya hipadritaha. Manda bhagya. Devotees are very manda bhagya. Means they are unfortunate. Although they have a desire to traverse in spiritual path nicely, somehow they are misguided. But one good news to all of them is, if this desire is really sincere, Krishna will somehow show a good guru. No doubt. To the degree we are sincerely looking for some spiritual inspiration, to that degree Krishna will help us to meet a bona fide guru. Prabhupada says that, what was that? Cheaters exist because some people like to be cheated. If you want to be cheated, yes, we'll get a cheating guru. But if you want to be enlightened, we'll get a bona fide guru. But misfortune is when we get a bona fide guru because of our previous sincerity. And if you don't effectively utilize the association of that guru, teachings of guru, because of slackening sincerity, because of certain anarthas, then we are very unfortunate. Getting a guru is very difficult. Receiving teachings from guru is very difficult. And if we don't stick to those teachings, losing that opportunity will be easy. So let's not lose that opportunity. So we have discussed so many things today, but essentially the point that I wanted to convey based on this little shloka that we have studied is that Prahlad received wonderful spiritual teachings from his guru Narada Muni, and he's transmitting those teachings to his disciples, or actually his classmates, in the form of the children of so many demons. So he received sincerely and is transmitting sincerely. His guru is potent, he's now acting as a potent guru. Therefore, transmission is possible. So the external of their being little children, their tender age, all these were not obstacles for them. When there is a sincere intention to serve Krishna, to be connected to Krishna, no obstacle can obstruct us on our journey to Krishna. Madguna shruti matrena mai sarva guhashaye manogatira vichchinna yatha gangam bhasombudau. When a devotee loves Krishna, as soon as the devotee hears the qualities of Lord Hari, their mind just runs towards Krishna, just like Ganga flows towards the ocean despite so many obstacles. Tvayi menanya vishaya matir madhupate sakrit ratim udvahata dadha gange vogham udanvati. Kunti Mata prays, O Lord, let my mind completely flow towards you. Just like Ganga flows towards the ocean, let my mind totally run towards you, run behind you. When will our minds run behind Krishna? When will we feel that intense urge, intense attraction towards Krishna? When we hear Harikatha nicely. The mind runs towards Krishna, the mind constantly thinks about Krishna to the degree we equip ourselves with knowledge about Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. Not like a Gnani, but like a Bhakta. Hear Harikatha. Know more about Krishna. Know more about Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. So all that will help us in Smarana. Without sufficient Shravanam, how can we do Smarana? If Smartavya Satatam Vishnu, Vismartavyo na Jatichit is the essence of all vidhis and nishedhas. Always remembering Krishna and never forgetting Krishna is the essence of all rules and regulations and prescriptions and prohibitions in all the Vedic literatures. How do we should understand, how do we come to that stage of always remembering Krishna? Shravanam. When we hear about Krishna sufficiently from bona fide sources with sincere and pure intent, then that will eventually lead to smarana, regularly remembering Krishna's nama, rupa, guna, lila. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hi. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. What a beautiful class, like always. Thank you, Divya Gaurangi Mataji, for posting all the verses. And thank you, dear devotees, for staying there. Such a beautiful class. Revati Mataji, your comment, I think everybody is agreeing. Creme de la creme class, Prabhuji. Very beautiful class. So, dear devotees, if anybody has any questions or comments, you can please raise your hand and Prabhuji can answer the questions which are beneficial to everyone. Dear Pradhan Prabhuji, do you have any question? I see you're unmuted. No, now you are muted, Prabhu. Opposite.
No, it's actually a very nectarian class, Prabhuji. Many thanks. No questions. I just put down some notes. I'm happy.
True, Prabhuji. As Prabhuji said in the class, one should be good in the kitchen. We all know Prabhuji is very good in the kitchen of Krishna consciousness. So we should take some recipes down. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Radha Shakti Mataji. Hari Bol. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for such an amazing class. It was very inspiring. My question is, Prabhuji, so I saw that you are reciting so many verses. Right now, I'm also trying to learn verses, but I'm not getting inspiration to learn verses because I do not preach. And in the past, what happened, whatever I have learned, all the verses, I have forgotten those. So I do not get the inspiration to memorize the verses from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So can you please elaborate on this?
Memorizing shlokas is not a mandatory item to learn Shastra or to develop Krishna Prema. But it's a very interesting and exciting aspect of Shastric study. Okay. So when we remember shlokas, when we relish the original Sanskrit shlokas, then that's a very sweet aspect of Shastric study. Although it's not a mandatory item in the sense that trying to understand the shloka and putting it in practice in one's own practical life is more important than just parrot-like repetition or just memorizing it. It should not just enter the memory, it should enter the heart. We need to not just memorize the shloka, but we need to internalize the shloka. We need to realize the shloka. We need to absorb the meaning of the shloka. And we need to digest it and apply it in one's life. That's more important. So, but the question, having understood that, let's now discuss a little bit about memorization. So, memorization, in my case, I would say, when you love the shloka, either for its meaning or for its meter or for its melody, you fall in love with the shloka because of these reasons, naturally it will sit in the memory. You don't have to put an extra effort for memorizing it. There's some love. When you read a shloka, wow, so meaningful. It's so relatable. I'm able to connect with the shloka well. I can see this practically in my own life. So you can have that feeling. Then naturally, you tend to revisit the shloka repeatedly. It will sit in the memory. So falling in love with the shloka is the most essential aspect of remembering it. So with this one point, let's go to the next points. You can read that book, The Art of Studying and Teaching Scriptures. In the 4th chapter of that book, I have given different reasons to memorize shlokas and different tips to memorize shlokas. So one tip I can share, which is very practical and simple, is if you can't remember a full shloka, just take one line. Just take one shloka. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhya jimam namaskuru. It's a 4-line shloka. Just begin with one line. Manmana bhava madbhakto, manmana bhava madbhakto, manmana bhava madbhakto, like that. You just keep on breaking the task into small things. Means like take one line at a time, memorize that first. Then take second line, memorize that first. Then take third line. Like that, go step by step instead of taking the full shloka. Then try to recite them in a tune. If you just read poetry shloka like prose, like a paragraph, then difficult to remember. But if you at least become familiar with one tune at least to recite a shloka, hundreds of shlokas follow in that one tune. Because shlokas have standard meter, standard chandas. The number of syllables are calculated, which is poetry, right? So once you remember one tune, once you learn to recite a shloka in a particular tune, you may recite hundreds of shlokas in the same tune. And when you're reciting the shloka in that particular tune, then even if you miss some syllables or some words, you will realize it. But if you read it like a prose, you will not even realize. You can realize that, oh, I have missed something. I have missed some portion of this shloka. So like that, you keep on practicing and you try to hear the recordings of recites purposes. Somebody recites nicely, you take the recording and then you hear it repeatedly. And somebody recites and you start hearing the right pronunciation and you repeat it. In everyday temple Bhagavatam class, the speaker recites the shloka few times, 3 times, especially, at least 3 times. And then the speaker will urge the audience, you also repeat the shloka. Then few people from Mataji's side, few people from Prabhuji's side, they recite. Like that, one shloka is repeatedly recited at least some 10-12 times in every morning Bhagavatam class, right? You go anywhere. So that's the way. Go line by line. And hear the right pronunciation and repeat it. And there are many more tips. You can just go through the book. Hare Krishna. Any other question?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, Mataji, Prabhuji also has a video on YouTube actually, and it works, Mataji. I have tried it personally. Whatever Prabhuji said, if you follow it, Mataji, it completely works. You will learn the shlokas very, very, very soon. Thank you, Prabhuji. Divya Mataji, Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, sorry, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such wonderful and enlightening class, Prabhuji, as always. Prabhuji, actually, I was hearing yesterday. I was hearing your one of the class in which you were saying that in how enviousness removes our intelligence. So, Prabhuji, as we are living in Kali Yuga, so in the devotee community also we face few devotees who are envious of us or either ways. So Prabhuji, how to deal with such devotees? Even if we are loving towards them, still we face this attitude. So what should be done, Prabhuji?
First check that we need to do is, am I perceiving envy in them because of my pride? When we have pride in us, we may perceive envy in others. They're envious of me. Probably because I am proud of my greatness. That's why I'm seeing pride, seeing envy in them. So that's the first check that we need to do. Of course, when we have envy also, we see envy. World is a mirror of our own consciousness. When we have envy, we see pride in others. When we have pride, we see pride in others. We see envy in others. When we have envy, we see envy. When we have pride, we see pride also. Like that, world is a mirror of our own consciousness. First, we should give a benefit of doubt. They may not be envious. I am perceiving envy, or I may be proud. But if you do that check, you don't have envy or you don't have pride, at least towards them. But they are genuinely envying you. So what to do with such people? One answer could be, try to serve them, try to please them. They may be envious of you, they may be uncomfortable with your high position, great position. Therefore, you try to show your good nature towards them, either by service or good words or support or appreciating them. So if somebody is envious of you, you try to appreciate them nicely. Then they will think that I am envious of this person, but this person is not envious of me. If you give them more credit, you don't take much credit in front of them, then they will feel guilty. They'll feel repentant. Oh my God, did I envy this person? He's so selfless. He's giving me all credit. He is appreciating me nicely. So when other people are showing their bad side, we can show our good side to them. Then they will voluntarily give up their bad nature, bad perspective. But because they are showing their bad side, if we also tend to show our bad side, then the situation will become more bad. However, despite showing our good side, if they are continuing to show their bad side, then we need to do the needful to protect ourselves. That is important. We should not allow ourselves to get exploited by others in the name of tolerance, in the name of humility. Okay. So that is one care that we need to take. But in all general case, by appreciating them, by treating them with good words, with the kind-hearted nature, there could be a transformation in them. Indra was envious of Prabhu Maharaj. Prabhu initially was little angry with Indra, wanted to attack Indra, but Brahma said, "You stop this sacrifice," and that transformed Indra. Prabhu stopped the sacrifice, and Indra was transformed. So when we show our good side to other people, although they are showing their bad side, there could be transformation in them. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful answer, Prabhuji. I had one more question, but not regarding this class. Can I ask, Prabhuji? Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, I had this question like, did Akrura also get Vaishnav Aparadh because gopis were very much lamenting when when Sri Krishna was taken away from Mathura? This was my question, Prabhuji.
Yes. Akrura was doing his duty. From that perspective, he's not at fault. But although we are doing our duty, when some people, genuine people, are affected by our performance of our particular duty, we should have at least some little sensitivity and empathy and sympathy to go and console them, pacify them. Say that I didn't mean to trouble you in this way, but what to do? I'm helplessly acting as an instrument according to the will of my superiors. I'm doing it. Please forgive me. So that sensitivity he should have shown towards the gopis at least. When Akrura was taking Krishna and Balram away from Vrindavan, all the gopis came and stopped Akrura's chariot. They were falling on the road. Akrura, if you want to take Krishna away from Vrindavan, take this chariot over our dead bodies. To that degree, they were lamenting. So when their pain is so intense, Akrura could have taken out some little time and effort to pacify them, but he did not do that. Therefore, he was affected.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you for enlightening. Thank you, Prabhuji. I had this question since many days, but I was not getting the answer. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Very grateful to you.
Wow, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Very beautiful answer, Prabhu. I am helpless towards the orders of my senior devotees. I can use that so many times, Prabhu. Beautiful answer, Prabhuji. So beautiful. Thank you, Mataji, for asking that. Hare Krishna, Ananga Kishori Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can you hear me?
We all can hear you, Mataji. Very nice.
Prabhuji, my question is like, you mentioned this sloka about Prahlad Maharaj, how he is completely absorbed in Krishna, and like Krishna Graha is in surrounding him. He's feeling that. But sometimes in a sadhaka stage, our anarthas and attachments possess us like ghosts. And even though we do Shravanam, Kirtanam, somehow it's like, it's like that dog's tail which can't be straight. It's like that kind of a situation. And prayers also don't work beyond a point because Krishna wants to see the efforts. But is it, I don't know, the family that we are born in or karmas, they don't let us go beyond a point in our surrender. So how do these blocks go? That's the question.
This is something experienced by most of the sadhakas. As you said, dog's tail. Anarthas will come back like dog's tail. Hiranyakashipu also exactly thought that Prahlad is like a dog's tail. I am trying to create so many obstacles in his Hari Bhakti, but he's not leaving Hari only, like a dog's tail. So, how do we overcome this? One practical tip I can give is take help from some devotees. Just share your heart with some devotee friend who is a well-wisher and who is mature enough. The devotee could be your equal, it could be some senior, but they should be mature enough and they should be a well-wisher to you. They should be knowing your situation. So find some devotee, express your heart, share your heart, and sincerely seek support from them. I know I have to do sadhana. I know I have to chant the holy names attentively, but I'm unable to do it. So can you please sit next to me when I'm chanting, when I'm dozing off, when you see me spaced out? Sometimes when we chant, we look in a direction. We stare in that direction. 2-3 malas will go. Not a single mantra will hear. So we are so distracted in our japa sometimes. We may not be consistent in our shastric studies sometimes. We are not attentive in Bhagavatam classes sometimes. So we are able to understand where we are lacking with little introspection, little self-analysis. But we don't have the strength to apply. We know what is our weakness. We know where we are lacking, but we are unable to come to the right standard. For that, we need to take support from other devotees. So you please sit next to me whenever I'm dozing off in my japa. Please wake me up. Whenever you see me spaced out in Bhagavatam class, just tap me so that I become attentive. And you keep asking me questions, asking please do some follow up with me, whether I'm doing my sadhana properly or not. It's not that prayers don't work. We don't work on our prayers. We pray and then leave it. We need to act according to the prayer also, right? These are some things. We need to give some liberty to other devotees to correct us. If we think that we know everything and we can work on where we are lacking, sometimes we may not be successful. So we need to give some liberty to other devotees to correct us, to improve us, to support us. That helps us grow. That helps us be more rooted in our practices. I'm also struggling. Although I said it, I also need that support. I'm also dependent on many devotees. We get different kinds of support from different devotees. Not one devotee may not be able to support us in all ways. So we can always find some like-minded association in the community of devotees and then take support from different devotees to do different things. If you are stuck in a service, go to some devotee for support. If you're stuck in japa, go to some other devotee. If you're stuck with some doubts in Shastra, go to another devotee. Like that, you can always take support from Vaishnavas and then be consistent in our practice.
Very beautiful answer. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji, for asking that question. That is true, Prabhu. When we are stopped and when we are corrected, that is when the ego is bursted, right? And then that, our ego, I am this and I am that. When we are stopped and corrected, that's when that is bursted. So true, Prabhu. So we should take actually as Krishna's mercy because our ego is going away. So, dear devotees, I don't see any more questions. Prabhuji, there are so many chat messages, of course. Like always, everybody is praising the class, and that's true. Everybody loves your classes, Prabhuji. Special thanks to Divya Gaurangi Mataji for posting all the verses and books and YouTube links. So, dear devotees, if nobody has any more questions or reflections, somebody is there. Hare Krishna, who is there?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you, Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. Thank you so much. Very, very beautiful nectarian class, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare.
Mataji, for inviting Prabhuji on the call all the time. Thank you for that. So, dear devotees, if everybody can unmute themselves, let us pay our obeisances to Prabhuji and all the assembled Vaishnavas. Vancha
Vancha
kalpatarusha pasindubhya vacha patana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Prabhupada ki jai.
jai.
Jai.